For some reason, it won't let me upload the photos, which is annoying because I had some pictures of what this looked like before and after makeover photos. This was based on chapter or plate 27 of the Egyptian Book of the Dead, which is the Bennu Bird coming forth by day, if I remember rightly. And it went through several iterations until it eventually formed the shape of a bird, which is not surprising. What I find interesting is it wasn't until I started trying to take the pictures for the video this morning that I realised that there were additional shapes and symbols inside the bird. So I looked closer at the eyes because I love the fact that they're just like fiery eyeballs, but I felt like actually underneath this eye, this looks a bit like a snake emerging. And then I hadn't seen this at all, was this sort of regal bird that is underneath the eyes, which is kind of forming like the throat area, and there's sort of I guess this is feathers coming out underneath. There is what looks, I don't know, a bit like a monkey here, and then there's another what I think looks a bit like a monkey or even a person just sort of like hanging out on a feather or a vine there, and there is one here as well, but you can only just kind of make out a face that's sort of coming out, so it's almost like there's half faces sort of all around. I felt like this over to this side looks a bit like that idea of wheat coming out again, but it's blue and green. And just as I was taking those pictures, which it won't let me upload, I saw this, which I think looks more like a P. It could also be an F, but I think it's a P. And I'm sure I've talked about that before, but I will look it up again later, as I have a couple of things to do quite urgently this morning. But the other thing that my ADHD brain was thinking of this morning when I was looking at this picture was this idea of characters in films and TV that are called Ben. So I thought about Ben, the child from Ross's relationship in Friends. He sort of appears at like every 10th episode. And then also Michael Jackson's song Ben, which is about his friendship, I believe, was with a rat. But I wonder if there's some deeper symbolism there, or my brain's just making that up because it likes to do that. Regardless, I like the picture. I really like the idea of a fiery bird, and I think actually I just kind of seen an owl here as well. So there are symbols within the main body of that bird, which is usually what happens. It sort of makes up the whole thing, and I quite like the idea that I don't know what I'm doing either, because that's literally my life. So please like and subscribe, and thanks for listening.